Kim. I'm a business consultant. I was thinking, the other day we had a very interesting match. And it was between Barcelona and Manchester. And I can see smiles all over. And one thing I like about Barcelona, I don't know if you like it, they are passionate team. So is Manchester, only that they didn't make it. We all know of different people like Barack Obama, Wangari Maathai, people like Raila Odinga. There's one thing that they're all good at. There's one thing that makes them distinctive. That thing is passion. Today we're going to talk about passion. I'm going to define passion to you. I'm going to talk about characteristics of passion. And then thirdly, how to describe why passion. When we think about passion, the definition of passion from the dictionary talks about a passion is a feeling. It is a compelled feeling to act or do something. And then another definition from the dictionary is that passion is a continuous doing of action towards a certain goal. For example, if someone is passionate about kids, they want to change the kids' life, or let's say people who, usually kids like, let's say, who are needy. Someone will be passionate enough to want to go and make a difference of those kids. Yeah. But I prefer defining it as what you want to die for. That's what your passion is. So let's go maybe to the characteristics of passionate people. In studying both passion and thinking about it, I realized all these people, Wangari Maathai, Barack Obama, Martin Luther King, Jr. All these leaders that we know of, they are passionate about their life. They have what we call direction. They know where they're going. They have direction in their lives. In terms of, for example, if you were to journey from Nairobi to Mombasa, you will need to know your destination is Mombasa. That will mean you will need to, at least prior, mentally think that you get to Mombasa. Even if you don't know where Mombasa is, but you know where your destination is. That is having direction. So even in our companies, in our lives, we all have to have direction. I believe why you're here, why you're studying, why you're doing what you're doing, is because you have a direction in your mind. There's a place you want to attain. Maybe it may be the next Minister of Finance. Maybe it might be the next Barack Obama. Maybe it might be the next Wangari Maathai. But all in all, you have to have direction. That's the first D, or the first characteristic of people who have passion. The second one is that passionate people have delivery in them. That means they deliver. For example, we know Obama to have been very proud because he managed to be the first black president, that's one, and he was preaching change. As much as the Americans right now, they are very anti his policies and all that, he was ready to take up the change. His message was change. He was willing to die for that change. He did so many sacrifices, rallied so many people, talked to many people, and negotiated his life to make that change. So he had to be a person of what he does. He had to be a person of action. That's what I'm saying. A person who has passion is a person who has delivery in them, who does. A good leader will always be the one who will step out and take the risk. Yeah. So that's the kind of person I'm talking about. That's the kind of person who you're talking about when you're talking about delivery. They deliver. They give you the words, yes. They not only say it, but they do it. The third thing, which is the characteristic of passionate people, is determination. For all these people, a good casing point would be Nelson Mandela. If he ever gave up when he went to prison, or before he was caught up and he's arrested, he wouldn't have freedom. He wouldn't be celebrated as he is now. He was passionate about freedom. He wanted to go and get freedom. Martin Luther King, in his statements, would say, I have a dream. And the dream was to get freedom. The dream was to be, to come out from the apartheid they had, the black and the white races in their heart. That is what made them unique. They were determined. They were determined to be passionate people. They were determined to go over the board. They were determined to risk their lives. They were determined to be ridiculed and all that. Coming back home to Kenya, Wangari, the environmentalist, we all know her story. She was very battered. At the time she was battered, because of her thriving for, standing up for the trees and planting the trees and saying people need to plant trees. Of course, we can relate to that she was beaten because of that, because of her passion. She was passionate enough. She's not willing to let go of what she wanted to do. And of course, her rewards, we all know. She's been made a Nobel Prize winner. She's gotten some money. Now she's hopping all over the world. Just being a consultant in the environment because of her passion, because of she was determined. Okay. So we've got about three characteristics of passion. The first one was direction. Second one was delivery, and the third thing was determination. So now let's go to how can I discover my passion, or how can I discover your passion? I'll take it from a different angle and ask you questions that you can write down, if you can, that will help you think about your passion. What drives you? What makes you wake up early in the morning and come to class and come on a Saturday and go to work? This bigger, I realize with all these leaders and these passionate people, they have to be a driving them. One question you can ask about yourself is, what do you love doing? Simply that. You look at Bill Gates. He was a technical person. He was a person who likes internet and all that. And then do you know Bill Gates, by the way, dropped out of Harvard to pursue what he believed was his passion? All of us know Harvard is a very big, prestige school. No one of us wants to drop out from Harvard and go pursue what you're passionate about. But it was so much in him that he said Harvard can be put aside, and I pursue this passion of making a software. And of course, we can see what he does to the computers these days. It helps us communicate well. It helps us work efficiently. Unlike MS-DOS, which was before, which is really technical and programming. That's one example of how you can learn about a passion by knowing what you love doing. There are people who don't love what they do, but they will want to change something. Another question you can ask yourself is, what do you detest or what don't you like? For example, like politicians. Some politicians can come up and say, I want to change Kenya because of the corruption aspect. And then they'll say, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to change Kenya. So that can be your passion, maybe to be a politician or to change something. Maybe you're seeing kids being sexually abused and you want to change that aspect. Or maybe like in the case of Barack Obama, he came in with a message, I want to change America. And he, of course, he had his own principles and things he was saying, I'm going to change America this way. I'm going to change by setting the policies and setting what he wants to do. That's another question that you will ask yourself. What do you detest? What don't you like? And how can I change that? Another question you can ask yourself is, if all resources were constant to you, for example, you had the money, you had the policy made at your disposal, what would I do to change the world? Think about it for a moment. If you think about it, Bill Gates, with all the money he has worked so hard, he's become this big person, he's done all these things, and you hear he's doing a foundation. Why? Because he's done all these things that we all look out for, but he feels not satisfied. He needs to do something different. And what is that? To him, he needs to give back to the community. That brings his joy. So, one of the questions that can help you discover your passion is to ask yourself, if I had all things constant, the resources, the money, everything, the policies, what can I change about the world? Yeah. Well, there's a story told of Muhammad Gandhi. It's called Gandhi, the Indian. Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you. I'm confusing Muhammad. Mahatma Gandhi. One of the things he was doing, he wanted to stop. He's a passionate person because he changed the way people thought. He stopped eating and he said he's fasting and he said he won't do things, he won't move. People had guns. It was very weird. He stood to people with guns, and he didn't have guns. And he told people, I'm not going to move out of this place. I'm not going to do anything until you listen to my demands, you know. And he's an example of someone who's passionate. He's an example of a person who wanted change. And we all can be that. It's just that we need to focus on that passionate thing we do. A third thing that, the fourth thing you can ask yourself is, what can I do for free? That sounds very weird. I wake up, go do something for free, and I'm not being paid. That's tricky. But if it fulfills you, it makes you happy. I don't know if you've met friends or people, workmates, or people who play football or something, or they're in a sport, or they're doing something they love, or a technician or someone who's doing a website. He can start working maybe from 8 o'clock, and he'll go the whole night to the 8 o'clock, and he's not eating, he's not done anything, and he's happy. And he's so passionate about that thing, he wants to take an extra mile, he doesn't want to take a break. He's so passionate about it because he wants to achieve a certain goal about it. So, I don't know, with those questions, I hope I'm bringing up a lot of questions in your mind to help you discover your passion, discover who you really are. And really, those questions help you think about yourself. You can't just do it in one day, of course, because you have to think about it more and more and keep on asking. And funny enough, what you're passionate about is something you do naturally, something that you don't struggle to, something that you can do for free. That's why the concept is there. But what can I do for free? Going back to the examples we had, Barack Obama, Wangari Maathai, as leaders and people who are passionate. If you look at their lives, they were willing to die for that cause. They were willing to sacrifice their time, willing to go the extra mile, willing to sacrifice their resources. Are you willing? And are you passionate? Be a person of passion.